Good evening. I welcome you all to this particular session of strategic cost management. Friends, I strongly believe you all are happy and healthy at your respective places and doing good. Friends, obviously, you may have various queries or curiosity regarding the revised study material. So prior to start today's class, I will make two announcements, and one among that is related to the revised study material, and other is related to the chapter number 8, which we are currently doing in the classes. Okay, and there is a query along with me itself. Even though prior to the class, someone from the Uttarakhand asked whether the older notes are applicable or not. So friend, the first announcement for you, very good evening to all of you. Good evening, friends. So first announcement for you is this, that you are aware that revised study material is hosted on the website of ICAI on the Monday, and it will be applicable for the May 2021 exam. The chapter which you covered along with me, the chapter number 4, 5, and currently the chapter number 8, which we are doing it as per the revised study material. You may witness this thing that when we covered the chapter number 4, the question of the target costing, prior to solving the question of target costing, we studied the various steps which is need to be applied in order to implement the target costing. In relation to the life cycle costing, I did the study of the Maruti along with you and the same study in the material. Then further afterward that, the classification of the environmental cost. Now it's in the same manner with the same headings written in the revised material. In the chapter number 5 also, we studied the features, then the cost structure, then the cost management technique of each industry. In the same manner it is given in the revised study material. So friends, regarding chapter number 4 and 5, if you find anything in the revised study material which is new for you, because you already prepared some notes or did the self-study based upon your old material, and now you are going to write the exam in the May 2021, then I advise you, you must attend the 4 lecture which we already conducted on the 16th of November, 18th of November, 20th of November, and 23rd of November. But if still any of my friends not able to get through any of a concept from the chapter number 4 and 5 as per the revised material, you are free to ask me. On the next Wednesday, we will conduct the last class for the chapter number 8. Post break, I will give you half an hour or 1 hour so that you can take your queries from the chapter number 4 and 5, because there may be something which you feel that you need to discuss. And obviously, under the confidentiality clause, I didn't discuss all the things which is need to be introduced or supposed to be introduced in the revised material. So while teaching you the chapter number 4 and 5, I also kept behind some of the things. Okay. So you are free to ask me the query from the chapter number 4 and 5. Now, whereas a matter of the chapter number 8, we are fully complied with the revised material. Hence, you need not to worry that anything which we are, anything is not there, which we are not covering, which may be there in the revised material. So everything which is in the revised material, we are covering in our classroom notes. Now, the second announcement. Friends, the chapter number 8 is quite important, and this thing I already mentioned to you in the previous lecture as well. So we expect that again we can see the 30 or a 40 marks paper, not maybe the 40 marks, that at least 30 marks or a 20 marks paper from the chapter number 8 in the upcoming examinations. The EVA and not-for-profit sector was already tested in the May 2020. I'm not saying that these cannot be tested again. These can be tested again, but the probability of repetition is quite a less. Hence, the probability of other topic to be tested in exam is a more. And what are the other topic? The comparison between the ROI or RI. All the techniques like the balance scorecard, performance pyramid, building block model, performance prism, triple bottom line, or then thereafterward benchmarking. So these are the major things which is left. In the next 3 sessions, including the today's session, we are going to cover this balance scorecard, performance pyramid, performance prism, building block, TBL, and the benchmarking. So this class, the Friday's class and the Monday class, obviously important for you in order to, you can say that, meet the examination. And in today's class, the target for us or the agenda for us is to capture the balance scorecard and the performance pyramid. Okay. If still any of your doubt left or the query left regarding the revised study material, you can ask me. Okay. You are free to ask me. No doubt the notes which you prepared earlier has a less importance now because there are many new concepts which is introduced, but largely you can say the concepts are reintroduced rather than newly introduced. So test your understanding introduced and some of the other feature is introduced in order to make study material more interactive. Okay. So friend, I'll give you now an overview what we already covered in the previous two sessions. Then we start this particular session. Okay. And I need your participation as well while solving the question or answering the case study. And the agenda for today's class is not only to learn the concept, but we will also do or perform 8 case studies in the today's class itself. Okay. So friends, when we started the chapter number 8, we acknowledge this fact that in order to manage the performance, we need to measure the performance and then evaluate the same. Obviously, if we measure something, then we know now whether we are performing right or not, whether we need to further improve or not, and if we need to improve, what are the area where the improvement is required. So hence, prior to managing the performance, measuring performance is very much required. And why we need to manage the performance? So that we can attain the corporate objective. We can achieve the strategy which we formulate. We can implement that strategy in a sensible manner. Okay. So when we say that we need to measure the performance, obviously for measuring the performance, we need to study certain tool. So in the first class, we studied what is the performance management system. Then we studied the organization structure, the different form of responsibility centers. And then we introduced the various performance measures. Up till now, we covered the 3 performance measures, which are ROI, return on investment, then RI, residual income, then EVA, economic value added. Now we need to start from this particular side. Okay. But prior to moving into the today's discussion, I also wish to clear one fact to you. I mentioned here that in order to manage the performance, we need to measure the performance. Here the word measure is used. Again, here the word measure is used. The various performance measure which can be used to measure the performance of the organization or individual division. But friends, mind it. Here the word measure is used as a verb. Measuring performance. Here the word measure is used as noun. Measure as a tool to measure the performance of the organization. So you can see the difference between the use of this particular word, and it is very much important. Now I will start today's class. Okay. So capture the concept along with me. Friends, when we say that in order to manage the performance, we need to measure the performance. Obviously, to measure the performance, we must have certain indicators against which we are going to measure the performance of the organization or the division. These indicators may be financial performance indicator, such as how much profit you earn, how much sale you make, how much value of asset you have. And the indicator may be non-financial performance indicators. What are the non-financial performance indicator? How much of the customer you are having, means the customer base. How much of the repeat customer you are having who are coming back to you for again the services. It means they are your principal customer. Similar way, the another non-financial performance indicator can be what? The skill set of your employees. The trademark and patent which you have. Now take an example along with me in order to understand these. Friend, when Facebook acquired WhatsApp, they didn't make the payment of the purchase consideration according to the value of the asset which WhatsApp owned. They didn't make the payment according to the future cash flow or the PV value of the future cash flows. They make payment according to the number of subscribers, $1 for each subscriber or the user of the WhatsApp. Hence, the user base is quite important technique to measure the performance or to measure the value of a particular company or how the company is performing. Okay, so these indicators are equally important. Likewise, the financial performance indicator. If I ask you what is the success factor of the Walmart, or what is the success factor of the Flipkart, or what is the success factor of the Amazon, no doubt the Amazon took out this. So what you will say, sir, they are having a wider reach because they are selling through the e-platform. So e-platform means the technology is also a success factor. So what we basically try to say that the performance should not be measured only from the financial angle. It may be measured from the non-financial angle. Okay. Now moving step further. Friend, if tool which is used to measure the performance only comprises financial performance indicator, then that tool is said pure financial performance measurement tool. But if the tool which you are going to use, comprises both the financial performance indicator as well as non-financial performance indicator, then it will be said other than pure financial performance measures. So ROI, RI and EVA are the pure financial measure which is purely based upon the financial performance indicators. But whereas balance scorecard is such a tool of the performance measure which consider both the financial performance indicator as well as non-financial performance indicator. तो एक बार जल्दी से रिवाइज कर ले हमने क्या अभी तक पढ़ा. Friends, we studied the indicator means the parameter against which we measure the performance. Can be of two types. It may be financial, it may be non-financial. FPI and NFPI. If the tool which you are using, like ROI, which compute the return by multiplying the profit with the value of asset, that is what you do, profit divided by the capital employed in order to compute the ROI, then this will be treated as a financial performance measure. But if you use the tool like the balance scorecard, in which you consider your financial performance, you consider your customer perspective, you consider your learning perspective, then it means you are not only considering FPI, you are considering FPI as well as NFPI. Agreed? So I hope now you understand why we differentiate, why we classify. Because here our focus is upon the financial statements. Here our focus is on the number. But here we are not only focused towards the number or the finance. Here we are focused on the qualitative factor as well. Here we are focusing on the customer as well, the employees as well, the other stakeholder as well, apart from the shareholder. So you can say that these are mostly the shareholder oriented, but these are not shareholder oriented. These are the stakeholder oriented. Agreed? Now, friend, learn a thing based upon which a case study may be asked. If you have a measure which considers the financial performance indicator, then what is the need to have the tools which also consider the non-financial performance indicator? आसान भाषा में कहूं, अगर आपके पास ROI, RI और EVA है, तो इनकी क्या जरूरत बैलेंस स्कोर कार्ड की परफॉर्मेंस पिरामिड की? Calculate ROI, and the department which give you the highest ROI is the best department. The organization which give you the better IRR, it's the best organization. But you need to understand the need, why we are considering the NFPI. Please understand along with me. There are certain limitation of FPI or the pure financial performance measure. What are the limitations? We already studied that ROI leads to sub-optimization, RI has a problem of the size differentiation. Similar way, the EVA also has some problem. Likewise, it used the historical data. So the same limitation becomes the limitation of FPI. What are the major limitation of FPI? The first limitation, these all are short-term elements. Number one. Number two, these all are historical in the nature. We measure the performance after the period closes. We measure the sale after the period closes. Okay. Third problem, these all are the internal factor. This is inside the business. This is from the internal business environment. It is not representing the external business environment. Okay. So you need to external as well. The fourth limitation is what? Window dressing is possible in these things. But whereas in these elements, the window dressing is not possible. So due to certain limitation of financial performance indicator, in our performance metrics, I introduce a new term, performance metrics. Performance metrics is what? Is a basically kind of the report card. Jay, are you able to hear me? Actually, a student actually keep on responding in this query link that the video freezed. So is any okay? Done. Thank you very much. Friends, the person from the technical team suggested me just a minute back that it's absolutely correct from our end. So I just request you all to refresh your connection, or you can say that the search engine which you are using, so that you can see the lecture again. Okay. But what I do that you mentioned the topic that from where you could not able to see. What I'll do, I'll explain the concept again from that particular point itself. Okay. So friends, we were discussing that if we are having the FPI as well as the non-FPI, and we consider the FPI with the help of the pure financial measures such as the ROI, the RI, and the EVA, then what is the need? Then what is the need for us to consider the non-financial performance indicator? I'll say my words again. Okay, now it's visible. Thank you. Okay, so now it's visible. Okay. Okay. Don't worry, friends. What I'll do, I'll repeat it again. Okay. We mentioned that if we are considering financial performance indicator with the help of ROI, RI, and EVA, then why we need to consider the non-financial performance indicator? What is the need of considering the non-financial indicator? The reason is quite clear. There are some sort of limitation in the financial performance indicator due to which we need to consider the non-financial performance indicators. Now the question arises, what are the limitations? These are short-term oriented. These are historical in the nature. These are internally focused. These are not considering the external business environment. And these are prone to the window dressing. It may possible that the data is not correctly, someone mentioned, from the balance scorecard. We logged at the VCC and YouTube from both freeze. Okay, no issue, friends. No issue. Don't panic. Don't get panicked. Don't get panicked. Okay. Okay. I'll give you a quick review. Don't worry. Okay. Let's get a quick review. Okay. We'll spend a minute or two in order to get all the thing covered what we discussed. The first thing we said that in order to manage the performance, what we need to do, we need to measure the performance. In order to measure the performance, we discussed we may have the indicator, which may be the financial performance indicator and maybe the non-financial performance indicator. Okay. The financial performance indicator include profit, sale, and value. How much profit you earn, how much sale you make, how much asset in terms of value you have. Then what you do? Apart from the financial performance indicator, you may have non-financial performance indicator. Likewise, the customer base, the skill set of the employee. Obviously, a company with the more skilled worker in comparison to the company who's having unskilled worker can perform better, has a better performance. The trademark and the patent, if with any organization has more, that organization has more capacity to earn. Okay. So friends, non-financial performance indicator are equally important as financial performance indicator. Now moving further, what we said then, if any performance measurement tool consider only financial performance indicator, then it will be said pure financial performance measure. But if any performance measure tool consider both financial performance indicator as well as non-financial performance indicator, then it considered better. Why? Because we don't want to be profitable only. We also want to be sustainable. And in order to be sustainable, in order to attain the sustainability, we need to be stable. We must attain the growth. We must able to sustain for a longer period until the foreseeable future. Hence, it's very important to consider the tool like balance scorecard, which not only consider the financial perspective, but also consider the customer perspective and skill set. It's quite important to consider the triple bottom line, which says that apart from the profit, the planet and the people are also important element which business need to consider in order to ensure that it must succeed in the longer period. Agreed? So, due to the limitation of the financial performance indicator, we need to involve non-financial performance indicator into our performance metrics. The performance metrics, if we prepare that these are the indicator and this is our performance, then the indicator or the factor against which we are measuring our performance, that must include non-financial performance indicator apart from the financial performance indicator. Okay, friends, now I'll take you to the notes. So friends, read note 9 along with me. What it says, not financial performance measures, NFPM or PI. There is very small difference between the word measure and the indicator. Although your study material and most of the academicians don't differentiate between these two. But in the revised edition, we tried to insert a box in which the difference between the two is written. And I will tell you the difference here in a verbal form. What is the difference? Indicator only indicates. It don't quantify. But whereas the measure quantify. Okay. If I tell you the sun is bright today, it is an indicator. It may be hot. But if I tell you that despite there is a bright sun, the Celsius temperature is only 35 and it's a winter season, you'll say it's very good environment. Don't worry. You will not feel bad. It means indicator only indicates something to you. If I say that bottom line is red, it means there is a loss. But can you quantify how much loss? For that, you need to measure it. Okay. So we will also use these words interchangeably, but there is a minute difference between the measure and the indicator. So you need not to panic. Just study this point along with me further. As mentioned earlier in this chapter, the financial measure possesses the significant amount of shortcomings. What are the financial measure? ROI, RI, EVA. And what are the shortcomings? The first shortcoming is short-term oriented. In RI and ROI, you compute the profit, and the profit which you took into the consideration, that is only the one period. And based upon one period, you could not comment upon the performance of company. You need to consider more than one period. Further, historical in the nature. The profit which you use in order to compute even EVA, that is also computed for the previous period. Then further, internally focused. Then the fourth one, prone to window dressing. Hence, these three must not be used only. Even though if you are making the performance metrics, it may be possible that apart from these three, you also include the balance scorecard. You also include the performance pyramid. You also include the triple bottom line. It means these in isolation could not work. These can be considered in association with these. Okay. Further, read the next point. Non-financial performance indicator are sustainable action-based indicator. It means if we consider the non-financial measure or non-financial indicator, we will not become only profitable. Instead of being profitable, we become sustainable. And sustainability include three things: profitability plus stability plus growth. Okay. So non-financial indicator are sustainable action-based indicator. The tool like the balance scorecard, performance pyramid, the building block model or performance prism is capable to serve the purpose because these encompasses or consist of non-financial measure apart from the financial measure. What does it mean? It means in the balance scorecard, हम finance के matter भी देखेंगे और finance के अलावा कुछ matter. In the performance pyramid, we consider the financial aspect and some of the non-financial aspect as well. I hope now you able to understand what are the non-financial performance measure. Non-financial performance measure are those where apart from financial, please mind it, although name suggests what non-financial means other than financial. No, not other than financial. Non-financial means apart from financial, there are also other than financial measure. It means we will consider the profit, no doubt, but apart from profit, we will also consider how our customer think about us. We also consider whether our labor is a skilled labor or not. Okay, friends, now move further. There is a case study. It is in the revised study material on the page number 8.19. Read the case study along with me. Very, very, very easy case study. It is given in the form of test your knowledge. Okay. Light Automobile Limited, LAL, is one of the leading automobile assembly part manufacturer of the country. It means they are manufacturing some part which is used either in the two-wheeler or in the four-wheeler. Okay. Further, in order to manage the performance of the LAL, the CMD, Chairman cum Managing Director, in the latest board meeting, shown his willingness to apply the non-financial performance indicator, NFPI, in addition to the financial performance indicator. We already know, friends, why we consider NFPI in addition to FPI? Because we want to be sustainable. We don't want to be only profitable. Further, the CEO conducts the meeting. Chief Executive Officer, after the board meeting, conducts a meeting with the functional heads. Some of the functional heads are concerned with the scope of non-financial performance indicator as part of performance management system. During the meeting, the chief HR lead of the company raised his concern over the utility of non-financial performance indicator. Obviously, the company is shifting to the non-financial performance indicator, and there is always a resistance of the change. So some of the financial head says that whether it will be useful for us, whether there will be utility of non-financial indicator or not. So what are their concerns? Let's read it. To measure, read this line once again. During the meeting, chief HR lead, it means the head of HR department of company, raised his concern over the utility of non-financial performance indicator to monitor and control the human resource. So he is doubtful whether the non-financial indicator help him to control the human resource or not. Further, the chief operating officer, COO, also raised his concern on the manner how NFPI can ensure the quality in the product. Operation head is concerned that whether the NFPI help him to gain the quality in the product or not. Similarly, the chief public relation officer is also concerned how the NFPI improve the brand equity. It means the concern are from three departments. What are those three departments? HR department, then operations, and it is production operation, because they are concerned with the quality. Okay. Further, the public relation department. The office of the CEO hired you as a management consultant for designing and effective implementation of performance measurement system, which also consider the non-financial performance indicator. CEO asked you to briefly explain the scope of non-financial performance indicator in regard to only three functions. Although non-financial indicator improve entire organization, it can improve all the function, all the processes of the organization. Because just in order to understand, here I mentioned the customer, employee, trademark, patent, but it can has a long list. Okay, so you need to explain how the non-financial performance indicator in regard to these three functions do improvement. Okay, so this is the case given in your study material. Now you need to answer. What the first point you will mention? You will mention that the non-financial performance indicator ensure the sustainability, whereas the financial performance indicator only ensures profitability. Hence, it is advantageous to go to or shift to non-financial performance indicator. Okay. Then the second point, you need to write that by measuring the performance of all aspects, not only the financial aspect, improve the overall performance or the culture of the organization. So it may have overall impact upon the organization and improvement in the organization. But in regard to three specific function which is mentioned in the question, what will be the impact? Please see along with me. Management of human resource. The human resource is considered as most important element in any organization. Why? Because human resource create the organization by performing the processes. Organization in itself is a nothing if the human resource don't perform the process. So human resource is a most critical element for the success of the organization. How non-financial performance indicator can help to improve the performance of human resource. Non-financial performance indicator can help you to monitor the staff turnover. You can consider the absenteeism rate. You can consider the result of the job in the form of satisfaction which the employee is getting and attainment of the corporate objective by performing a particular activity by its employee. It means if you consider these non-financial performance indicator as part of your performance matrix, obviously it will try to highlight or try to bring your concern on the matter by resolving which you can improve the human resource performance. How? If you see the turnover and identify the turnover is higher, attrition rate is higher, more number of employees are leaving the company, obviously you start conducting the exit interview. The moment you conduct the exit interview, you identify the reason why the staff is not happy. You start working on their satisfaction. The moment you identify the reason and plug that reason, you make your system in such a manner that the staff which is working in the organization is now happy. Obviously, his productivity will improve and the organizational objective will be achieved. Okay, so by introducing these 4 non-financial performance indicators in the performance matrix, the performance of the human resource department can be enhanced. Further, how the non-financial indicator help you to improve the quality of the product and services? Basically, you will study the value which you are generating, or which your product is generating, or which your service is generating. Then you compare this value with the value of the product of your rival. And then you see whether your product can beat the product of rival or not. If your product can beat the product of the rival, it means you can capture the market share. Otherwise, you cannot capture the market share. Whether you able to fulfill the need of the customer or not, it means आपके परफॉर्मेंस मैट्रिक्स में एक और नॉन फाइनेंशियल परफॉर्मेंस इंडिकेटर होना चाहिए. एंड व्हाट इज दैट नॉन फाइनेंशियल परफॉर्मेंस इंडिकेटर? कस्टमर सेटिस्फैक्शन. इफ द कस्टमर is satisfied, it means your product is with quality. If the customer is not satisfied, it means your product is not with the quality. There is a very plain definition of quality. And what is that definition? Conformance to the need of customer. What does it mean? Whether you are meeting the need of the customer or not. If you are meeting the need of the customer, it means customer is satisfactory. You are adding the new customer to you, and you are rendering the services in a well manner to the old customer. They become your repetitive customer. They become your principal customer. Hence, organization may able to attain its corporate objective. Moving further, the brand awareness and company profile. How it can be improved with the help of the non-financial performance indicator. Some of the non-financial performance indicator are given to you. The value of the brand, high loyalty, means how much customer give importance to your brand, whether they are connected with your brand or not, whether they are aware about your brand or not, whether your product has a good R&D image or not. So you must include these as your performance indicator in the performance matrix, that how much number of people aware about our product, means how much number of prospective customer aware about our product. So it means if we consider the non-financial performance indicator, it not only help us to improve only one or two department, every department will be improved by picking up the non-financial performance indicator. Okay. Friends, now move to the next case study quickly. That is the Kristan LLP. Very, very, very important. It is part of your RTP for the November 2020. And it is given as question number 8 in the RTP of November 2020. What is mentioned in the case study? The Kristan LLP sells the wide range of the household product. It means it's selling consumable goods or durable goods. So we are not knowing that whether it's selling the grocery sort of household goods or the some electronic item sort of household goods, but whatsoever be it selling, that may be in the frequent demand. Okay. Further, the firm has recently received few negative feedback about the product and the customer services. Obviously, it's selling the durable goods because from the word product, it's become more clear. Further, the CEO is not happy with this. As per the opinion of the CEO, now's the day when a social media plays such an important role in making the decision, it's crucial to keep an eye on the quality of the customer services you provide. What CEO is saying? CEO is saying that social media is this much active. You need to ensure what sort of customer services you are rendering. There must be quality in the customer services. Further, if you don't care about the customer satisfaction, don't expect them to care about you. If you don't render good services to your customer, obviously your customer will not care about you. And on the social media, he can write something derogatory about you. Please mind it. An unsatisfied customer can cause a loss of 100 customers to you. And one satisfied customer, obviously always a good source of mouth publicity and bring 10 new customers to you. So loss is on the bigger size. If a customer is dissatisfied, he will make such a post or write such a thing on the social media that 100 prospective customer may make their mind not to buy your product. But whereas if there is a one satisfied customer, he obviously tell that I buy the product of Kristan LLP and the product is quite good. You must also buy the product of the Kristan LLP. But the good customer can help you attain 10 more customer, and one unsatisfied customer will cause a loss of the 100 prospective customer. Okay. Further moving, when the customers share their story, they are not just sharing their problem. They are actually teaching you how to make your product or service or business better. So what CEO is believing, that if you listen to your customer in a sensible manner, you can identify the scope of improvement, that what are the area, if you work on which or on them, you can render a product which has more customer value. Agreed? Moving further, there has been considerable discussion at the corporate level. It means at the board level, the numerous discussion or deliberation took place to improve customer satisfaction. This is very important, customer satisfaction. Now you need to tell me whether customer satisfaction is a financial performance indicator or non-financial performance indicator. Please tell me in the query box whether the customer satisfaction is financial performance indicator or non-financial performance indicator. I'm waiting for your answer. In the meantime, I'm reading the next line. Okay. Convinced with this logic, firm has invested. What was the logic? This paragraph was the logic. Okay. That we need to satisfy our customer, because if the customer is not satisfied, they'll not buy your product. As well as when you talk to the unsatisfied customer, they tell you the scope of improvement. So convinced with the logic, the firm invested heavily in the customer satisfaction and adopted the following plan of action. So what plan of action Kristan LLP opted for? Kristan LLP opted 4-step or 4-element based plan of action. What are the elements? First element, providing helpline 24/7 in order to develop personal relationship with the customer. It means they are working on the customer relation. They try to have a personal touch with their customer so that they can send a birthday wishes to their customer. So customer become a principal customer and become a repetitive customer of the business. Whenever he need to buy any product which the Kristan LLP said, he should not go to the another player in the market. He must move back or come back to the Kristan LLP. Yes, very good, Sandeep. Very good. Very good. Raman, very good. Pretty good. Further, customer satisfaction is non-financial performance indicator. Very good, friends. Redesign its online platform in order to make it more customer friendly. It means it may be selling the product through some e-platform. What it will do? It will make e-platform more consumer friendly. It means any of item which you look, it will keep showing you pop-up message. Do you want to buy it? It also store or make a record of your preferences, and according to your searches, it give you the suggestion that you can also buy, or based upon the product which you see, it give the suggestion the other customer who see this product also review this particular product. Agreed? So now it's not selling through some outdated e-portal. It's selling with an or through an out portal which is interactive. You can say which is consumer friendly, easy to manage, rewarding the loyal customer by giving them experience they would not forget for the life. It means give the best customer experience, such an experience that it become a delightful for the customer to buy the product from you. How it can be? Likewise, you buy the product and they offer some gift on it. You buy fridge and in the fridge you find the cover of the fridge. You buy some washing machine and in the washing machine you find something which is another tool which is handy for you. So these may be, you can say that way to make the customer experience good. Or how customer experience can be good, like you give them the free delivery at their respective doorsteps. Agreed? Moving further, ease the return and refund policy. Offering no question asked guarantee is the smart move over the competitor. It means if you don't like the product, return the product and we will give you the refund. And no question will be asked to you that why you are returning the product. Obviously, usually there are the question asked that usually I order the book and if I don't like the content or find that book is torn up from some of the places, I send back the book, but I need to write. I don't like the quality of the content. I don't prefer such a book which is not, you can say that fresh, which is not of a new edition. But if someone give me the option to purchase and then return and refund policy likewise, returning my money immediately, the moment their person or representative collects the book from me, immediately my bank inform me that your money is credited to your account. So if someone offering these feature and that is also without asking a single question that why you are returning, obviously it's a win-win situation for the customer. Agreed? But it's also a win situation for the company because the customer will also prefer or always prefer to buy the product from this particular company. Okay, friends, further, the CEO was initially delighted to see that the effort pay off in the form of higher customer satisfaction score index. However, he is anxious to see the corresponding financial result. Might be he's talking about the graph given below. Yes, he's talking about the graph given below. What he's saying, CEO is very happy that the customer satisfaction index, which was 86 sometime in the year 2019, in the Q1, at the end of the last quarter, we are already in the December month of the 2020. So in the last quarter of the 2020, it reaches to 96. He's very happy. But he's anxious. Why he's anxious? Despite there is increase in the satisfaction index, the ROA, you can see the yellow line is nothing but the ROA. The ROA, which was earlier 8.60%, declines to 8.40%. So obviously some question may come to your mind that, sir, despite the fact that our customer is happy, satisfied, why our ROA not improves? Obviously our ROA shall improve because the customer keep on buying from us. They become a repetitive customer. We need not to incur more amount on them in order to sell the product. But obviously they help us to earn the revenue. If the revenue means the top line improve, the bottom line means the profit shall also improve. If the profit improves with the same setup for the asset, then ROA must improve. Now let's see what is the requirement of the question. And we also try to answer the question which I just presented in front of you a minute back. Okay. Further, what is the requirement? Does seeming lack of improvement in the financial performance with the customer satisfaction? Obviously, yes. Does Kristan LLP should stop investing in the superior customer experience? Obviously not. But we need to give argument for this. We need to discuss this. Okay. Now let's start the discussion. See this graph once again, and then we start forming the discussion points. What I'll do, I'll not dictate the notes to you, but I'll discuss the points with you. The first point, friends, which you need to write in your answer while discussing, that this particular problem or the case has a two framework. What are those two framework or the two indicator? The first indicator is customer satisfaction, which is the non-financial performance indicator. Some of my friends answered correctly while responding back to me in a query link. And the second indicator which it consider to assess the performance is ROA, which is the financial performance indicator. This will be your first point. Now moving to the second point. What will be that? Kristan LLP believe if its satisfaction index improves, ROA will also improve. This was their belief, because if we study the paragraph which is stated by the CEO, what he or she mentioned, they simply mentioned that the customer need to be cared about, only then he care for the company, then only he buy from you. Obviously, if he buy from you, then you will earn more. The moment you will earn more, your ROA will improve. And this thing is also clear from this particular point. The CEO is very delighted to see the improvement in the customer satisfaction, but he is anxious about the corresponding financial result. Why he is anxious? Because it is against his expectation. His expectation is what? That if the customer satisfaction improve from 86 to 96, the ROA will also improve. So you need to mention here the notion of what? The notion of Kristan LLP. And what was the notion of the CEO of Kristan LLP? That satisfaction index will lead ROA to improve. I hope second point is clear to you. Now moving to the third point which you need to mention. What you need to mention? That Kristan LLP, in order to improve the customer experience, opt this 4-step action plan or 4-phase action plan. Obviously, each of these 4 phases cause extra cost. It causes extra cost. Due to this extra cost, what happened? Due to which the profit get reduced. And obviously, if you invest in the portal, e-portal, if you invest in the customer relation services by installing good chair in the customer lounge, your capital will increase. So your profit decline, your capital increase, because you establish such a set of problem in order to delight your customer, that it result in the lower ROA. You can see here, return declines and capital increases. Why it happens? Because right now you just introduce the function. The moment you introduce this particular program, that you will make the customer experience delightful so that their satisfaction enhances. In the initial phase, you need to incur the expenditure. So here 2 theories become important, which you need to understand. Now I will tell you the first theory. What is the first theory? Law of diminishing margin return. Friends, in the first quarter, you spent the 10 rupee. Customer buy the products from you, which help you to earn the profit of 20 rupee. It means the benefit, which is 20 rupee, more than the cost you incur on the customer satisfaction, which is 10 rupee. In the second quarter, you incur again 10 rupee. But this time, the customer buy the product which help you to earn the profit of 15 rupee. Again, in the third quarter, you incur 10 rupee, but this time the customer buy the product more than what they otherwise used to. But that incremental sale help you to earn profit only of 10 rupee. Next quarter, you again incur 10, but this time it only help you to make the additional profit or incremental profit of 8 rupee. It means at this point, it is the optimum level. It is an optimum level where your incremental cost is equivalent to the incremental benefit, and then thereafterward the incremental cost is more, but the incremental benefit is less. But why it is less? You need to understand another theory which you need to mention in your answer. And what is that? Lead and laggard theory. What is the lead and laggard relation? Here, satisfaction index is the leading factor. ROA is laggard factor. If satisfaction increases, no doubt ROA will increase, but laggard will not immediately follow the lead. The laggard took some time to run behind the lead. It may possible that in the quarter 4, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4 of year 2020, there is improvement in the customer satisfaction, but there is no correspondent improvement in the ROA. You need to spend 1 or 2 more quarters. If you consider ROA is your laggard function to the satisfaction index as a lead function, no doubt if the lead picks up, the laggard will also picks up, but it may take some time. Simply saying laggard copy करता है lead को. अब copy करने में कितना time लेगा, imitate करने में कितना time लेगा, this depends on the business environment in which you are dealing in. Hence, the fourth point which you need to write, what you will mention, that due to extra cost which you incur, your ROA declines. This was your point number 3. Now the point number 4. What you need to write in the point number 4? Law of diminishing marginal return will not give you always same benefit. If you consider the first 3 quarters, your customer satisfaction index improved from 86 to 91. Correspondingly, your ROA also improved from 8.6 to 9.10. But then thereafterward, it starts declining. The thing I explained to you in the absolute amount, here it is written in the respective indicators. Okay. The second thing which you need to write in the point number 4 itself is a lead and laggard relation. And this thing is also mentioned in the answer given by the ICAI itself. That obviously, if the lead improves, laggard will also improve. But how much time laggard will take in order to, you can say that mirror the performance of the lead? It depends. Okay. Now, the last point which you need to write in order to conclude, that will be what? Hence, Kristan LLP should not stop giving the good, delightful experience to its customer. It must still focus on the customer satisfaction. What it can do, rather than incur the more amount, it can incur the reasonable amount so that satisfaction income must become stable at 96. Because if it don't do anything, then what will happen? The another player in market will do the advanced marketing or advertisement, or you can say that they will be aggressive enough to snatch the market share from Kristan LLP. They can win the customer over the Kristan LLP. Hence, it is advisable to company either to continue the same delightful customer experience, or if the company don't wish to incur the huge amount so that it can reinstate its ROA, then what company need to do? Company at least need to incur this much that can sustain the satisfaction index of 96. And one more thing you need to write in the point number 5 to close the answer. There is a slight improvement here in the 4th quarter of 2020. You can see that ROA increased from 8.30 to 8.40. 4. So you need to wait for another quarter or a 2. Laggard obviously will follow the lead indicator. Okay. So I hope that this case study is also clear to you. Yes, Sandeep. Yes. The lead is the leading indicator, Laggard is the lagging indicator. The lagging indicator, no doubt, lag behind the leader, but it will surely picks up. You can apply that capital market theory here, but you need not to apply it in a full sense. Okay. Now, friends, to very important concept. Why it's important? Due to 2 reasons. Out of the total 28 or 29 questions of the chapter number 8, 5 cases are on the balance scorecard. So there is a high probability of testing this concept in the examination. Okay. So friends, prior to reading some of the theory and explain the charts to you and the tables to you, let me take you to the research paper written by Robert Kaplan and David Norton in the year 1992, in which they prescribed the balance scorecard. Because this chart which is given in the study material, it is not from their paper which they wrote in the year 1992. It means it is not the original chart for the balance scorecard. It was mentioned in their book which they written in the year 1996, and the name of the book was Balance Scorecard, Translating Strategy into Action. You need not to go in the technical detail, but along with me, you need to spare a minute and move into this particular article, which is written by the 2 gentlemen, Mr. Robert S. Kaplan and David Norton. Okay. Now, what is written in this article? Listen very carefully in the form of the story. I'll tell you a story. You will find it very crisp and very interesting. The Robert Kaplan and Norton start with the behavior, start this article by explaining the behavior of the manager and the employees. They simply mention that for any organization, in order to be successful, quite important to have good financials. But only good financial will not lead the organization anywhere. The organization, apart from having the good financial, must have strong customer base. It means, apart from this fact that how do we look the shareholder, how much of the wealth we create for our shareholder, we must also see this fact that how do customers see us, whether our brand has importance in the mind of the customer. When they go to buy the product which we offer, they consider us a serious, you can say that, serious player in the market or not, whether they're ready to buy our product or not, whether our product meet their need or not, whether our product perceived or has value which the customer perceive good or not. So you need to consider these features as well. Now the question arises, how you will ensure the customer must get the value out of product? How you will ensure that the shareholder must get a reasonable return? The only way to ensure both these objectives, or to ensure both perspectives must be attained, you need to perform your internal business processes in such a manner that you perform in the economical manner, you perform in the efficient manner. Your processes like production of the goods, like procurement of the goods, are in the economical manner as well as in the effective, efficient manner, so that by reducing the cycle time, you able to produce the product which generate more value for the customer. Then in that case, what will happen? Because you reduce the cycle time, hence the production cost will improve, which will result in increase in the shareholder return, because cost is less, obviously revenue remains same, then the profit will be more. At the same time, because you produce the product by performing only those activities which are the value generating activity, the customer is also happy to buy the product from you. It means in order to improve the financial performance, in order to improve the vision of the customer towards your product, in order to improve the perspective of the customer towards your product, what you need to do? You need to improve the internal processes. You need to implement the standardized operating procedure. You need to identify the lacuna in your existing process so that you can improve the existing processes in order to be the world class or state of art organization. Okay. Now, when we say that you need to improve your processes, the question arises, who perform the processes? It's the employee. If the employee are not learned enough, not intelligent enough, how they will perform the process well? Obviously, for that, you need to ensure that your employee must be trained. They must have good amount of learning along with you. And not only the employee. Some of the organizations are such a nature which are not the labor intensive, they are the capital intensive. They are the machine operating. Hence, what you need to do, you need to introduce the new technique, the new technology, the technological intervention is required. Hence, in order to ensure the smooth processes, in order to give the delightful experience to your customer, the worker who is giving the service to the customer or who is producing the product for the customer, and the technology which they must be using must be new, must be innovative, must be good. Hence, the fourth perspective which the Kaplan and the Norton suggested is the innovation and learning. It means it comprises the two things. The learning is written from the perspective of the skill of your worker, so that if the organization is a service entity, they render best service to the customer. If the organization is not a you can say that service entity, it is the production entity, manufacturing concern, still they manufacture the product with the classic set of expertise, so that product must render the need, must fulfill the need of the customer. Agreed? But apart from learning, in the fourth perspective, there is another word. And what is that word? Innovative. Innovative is written from the perspective of technology, from the perspective of new processes, from the perspective of innovative ways to perform any process. Agreed? So, in this article, which the Norton and the Kaplan written for the Harvard Business Review magazine in the month of the January and February 1992, they suggested the four perspectives. What are those four perspectives? Revise along with me. First perspective is the financial perspective. It means how we see our shareholder. Are we able to meet the expectation of our shareholder? In short, कहूँ finance की भाषा में, तो क्या हमारा अल्फा पॉजिटिव है कि नेगेटिव है? Is our actual return is more than or less than or equal to expected return or not? What is the second perspective? Revise along with me. That is the customer. How our customers see us, whether the customer consider us a serious player or not, whether the customer value our product or not, whether he consider our product a serious contender in the market or not. जब वो प्रोडक्ट मार्केट में लेने जाता है, क्या वो हमारे प्रोडक्ट को कंसीडर भी करता है कि पहले देखते बोल देता है भैया भैया इसको तो निकाल दो, I don't want to buy this particular product. Hence, you need to see this fact as well. And if he ignores your product this much bad, what is the reason why he is ignoring? You must identify that reason and try to improve on those parameters. Okay. And the third perspective is what? Internal business perspective. And the fourth perspective is nothing but the innovative and the learning. I hope balanced scorecard के four perspective is clear to everyone. Is it clear to everyone? Now listen second half of the story. Very useful. Friend, in the same article, the both gentlemen also mentioned that it is not possible to attain the strategy of the organization in the one go. What they mention? That it is not possible to attain the organization strategy in a one go. It means in the one go, we could not achieve organization vision and mission. In order to achieve the strategy, what we need to do, they suggested in this article itself. This says the strategy need to be break down into the small objectives. Objective 1, Objective 2, Objective 3, Objective 4, Objective 5, Objective 6, n number of objectives are possible. Then what is need to be done? These objectives need to be classified under any of the perspective. Like first objective is profitability. Write it under the financial perspective. Second perspective is customer satisfaction. Write it here, customer perspective. Third perspective, we must be technologically advanced company. Take example of the Texila, which is a technological inventive company or innovator. So write down the third objective here. Then the fifth objective, let's say, is reducing the manufacturing cycle efficiency. MCE. आपने compute भी करा होगा in the chapter of lean. So write down the fifth here. Then what he says, don't only write down the profitability here. By writing the word profitability, you are not going to get your strategy. You are not going to get your objective. You must write some measure. That how you measure whether you attain the profitability or not, then write down the measure. Measure will be ROI or RI or EVA or gross margin or operating margin. It can be anything which you find suitable. Friends, later when people start using the balance scorecard, what happened? Instead of using the word objective, they start using the word goal. Even though in the original article itself, the word goal is written. But later on, the Kaplan himself acknowledged this fact. The word objective shall be written. Now your question may be this. So what is the difference between the goal and objective? Rajay, goal is open-ended, but whereas objective is more refined, more defined. You want to be CA. This is your goal and a vision. But you want to be CA by which attempt? Whether writing two groups together or not. This will be your objective. It means objective is more defined than the goal. You may have read certain differentiation between the two in your strategic management as well. And I don't want to challenge that knowledge. You are master of this thing, that what is the difference between the goal and the objective. But I'm telling you from the perspective of the strategic cost management, as in cost and management accounting, I'm telling you this particular thing. Not in the capacity of chartered accountant. So goal is an open-ended statement, whereas objective is a more defined statement. Hence, we must use the objective. Friend, now practical point, which may be tested in the exam and very important from the knowledge review. Very important. How the practitioner deal with this thing. Can you write down all your objective here? It is quite difficult. It is quite difficult. And even if you write down all the objective and start working on all the objective, you having n number of objective and you are working on all the objective, what you will be doing? You will be get diluted by multiple effort and you are not able to attain one. If I ask you to read all 8 subjects of CA final in each day, what will happen? None of the subjects you can read in a well manner. So you make your timetable that each day you will take 2 subjects, 1 theory, 1 practical. The same manner, the company cannot attain all the objective in the one go. What company need to do? Company need to identify critical success factors Don't write all the objective. Write only those objectives which are the critical success factor for you. Similar way, if you write the profitability here as a critical success factor, that in order to succeed, in order to attain the corporate vision, corporate mission, corporate objective, you need to be profitable. Then which of the measure is a key performance indicator? These all are the performance indicator of the profitability. But what is a key performance indicator for you? You establish ROI or ROCE as my indicator. Okay, so out of all the measure available, identify key performance indicator. It means you need to identify those activities which are critical to obtain the success. Hence, while drafting the balance scorecard, while you write perspective and you write the first perspective, financial, in that you need to write next what? Objective or goal or critical success factor. You write profitability. Not only profitability, you can also write increase in revenue. You can write increase in value, market value of the company. Okay. Then you also need to write the measure or the key performance indicator against that. Against the profitability, you write the measure will be return on capital. Agreed? So Kaplan and Norton already know that people are not this much intelligent that what we are saying in the year 1992, around 28 years ago from now, will able to understand. Hence, in order to support their point, what they did, they also provide this scorecard. They also suggest some of the goals under each of the perspective and some of the measure against each of the goal. Agreed? But friend, you can see here that when the Kaplan and Norton provide this, they provide it for a company called ECI. I'll show you. Just give me a minute, okay? Here you can see. They take it for the ECI, Electronic Circuit INC. Now understand the last part of story, which will complete your concept. Every organization is working in the different business environment. Do you agree or not? Quickly write down. In the meantime, I'll explain the further story. But in the query box, write down. Do you agree every organization is working in the different business environment? Write down answer of this particular thing in the query. I'm explaining the remaining part of story in the meantime. Because I feel that every organization is working in the separate business environment. Hence, the challenges faced by organization are different. The access to capital to the organization is different. Access to the labor to the organization is different. In India, which is a young country, the labor is cheaply available. But in the Canada, the labor is not available, but because population is less there. So every organization has its own challenges, on advantages. Simply saying, every organization has its own SWOT: strength, opportunity, weakness, and threats. Because every organization has its own SWOT, so how one balance score can fit all? So the balance scorecard, which is suggested by these two gentlemen for the company Electrical Circuit INC, which is given below, will not be suitable to all. Every company cannot have the objective of survival. Every company cannot have the objective of prosperity. Every company cannot have a customer perspective objective of the new product. Some may have the perspective of customer satisfaction. Some may have some other perspective. Hence, friend, this balance scorecard for every organization will be different. If you are preparing for an organization which is in the pharmaceutical industry, and another company also in the pharmaceutical industry, both are working in the same country, then even though their balance scorecard will be different. Why it will be different? Because there are few reasons for that. Why it will be different? The first reason, the balance scorecard is based upon the strategy of the company, because every company has its own strategy. The balance scorecard will be different. The balance scorecard is basically to achieve the vision and the mission, because every company has its own vision, and the balance scorecard objective will be different. The last but not the least, the business environment in which organization is working. Hence, the balance scorecard are not similar for two companies. Okay. Now, friend, let me explain this thing further to you with the help of these notes. In the notes, now you can see there are four perspectives. What are those? Financial perspective, customer perspective, internal business processes, and then learning and the growth perspective. What I did in order to help you to understand the balance scorecard, friends, I prepared this particular table for you. Under the financial perspective, what is the first objective which you wish to attain? Profitability. Second objective, survival. Third objective, growth. How you see whether you able to survive financially or not? Obviously, if you have a liquidity, you can able to pay off your debts on a time, you will be able to survive. Otherwise, you will not be able to survive. Good, Hema. Good. So, you will not be able to survive. Hence, every organization need to identify the objective based upon its vision and the strategy, and then need to prepare this table. I prepared this table for you, the scorecard table for you. Similar way, the ICAI also gives the scorecard table in its revised study material. And you can see their objective are not similar to the objective which I stated, or are both objective are not similar to the objective stated by the Robert Kaplan and the Norton. So these objectives are organization specific. आप जिसके लिए बैलेंस स्कोर कार्ड बना रहे हैं, ये उसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के विजन या स्ट्रेटेजी के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट है. Agreed? Now, friends, moving a step further. In order to understand this thing, what is that? Friends, just by preparing this 3 columns, you can't say that we prepared the balance scorecard. You just write the terms of balance scorecard, that in order to make financial perspective good, we attain these objectives, and these are the measure. Like in order to improve the ROI, the measure will be how much percentage increase in the ROI. In order to see the increase in the sale, how much percentage increase in the sale. So these are nothing but only fundamental. When you say a balance scorecard is prepared, when you prepare the sheet like this. Now listen this very, very carefully. You write down the perspective here, finance. Then you write down the customer perspective. Then you write down internal processes. Then finally, learning and the innovation. You also assign the weight. The weight of the finance is 25%. It means the importance which you are giving to the financial perspective is 25%. The importance which you are giving to the customer is 25%. The importance which you are giving to the internal process is also 25%. The importance which you are giving to the learning and innovation, that is also 25%. This percentage may be different for the different organization. It may possible that in some organization, the financial perspective has more importance, like the 50% or a 40%. That is why the word balanced is used. It means you need to balance these four perspectives. So balanced is to represent whether these four perspectives are balanced or not. Let's say there is an organization which giving the 100% importance to the financial organization, then it means that organization is not at all using the balance scorecard. Or you can say there is an organization which saying that financial perspective has the importance of 97%. Rest all the three have perspective has importance of 111%. Can you say it balanced approach? No, it is not a balanced approach. Friend, mind it one thing here. The name of concept is balanced scorecard. I many a time see that the people say it balanced scorecard. It is not balanced. It is balanced, because this you need to prepare prior to you start doing the initiative or you start taking the initiative. Okay. So hold your nerves. अभी बहुत सीखना है इसमें जो पेपर में टेस्ट होगा. Okay. Further, so you need to assign the weight to each of the perspective. The weight depends upon the understanding of the management. But mind it, you could not give the leverage to the one perspective this much high that you ignore the another perspective. You need to understand your organization. You need to understand your business environment and then give the weight. Okay, it is quite okay if you give the weight of the 50% to the finance and 20% to the customer, 20% to the processes and 10% to the learning, because you might be a labor intensive company. But if you are a technology intensive company, likewise, you are dealing in the e-rickshaw and electronic vehicles are be in the high demand in the upcoming year, then you need to be the innovative one. Then obviously what you will have to do, you will have to give the weightage to this innovation very high number. If you are a software company, you need to give the weightage to learning and innovation high number. So it depends upon the nature of the industry, nature of the company and the business environment. Agreed? Now, once you establish the weight to the perspective, the balanced weight to the perspective, then what is next need to be done? You need to see your strategy and cut it down in the small objective and write down here. Obviously, for each perspective, you can have more than one objective. But it is a standard practice to keep objective restricted to 2 or 3, not more than that. Because if you deploy your resources to the multiple objective at a single point of time, it will lead to delusion, nothing else. You are not going to get the favorable result. So I'm telling you a practical aspect that 2 or 3 objective in the one perspective is enough. Then against each objective, हर CSF के लिए एक एक KPI रखना है. For each objective, you must have one KPI. For example, above here it is mentioned, improve the product quality. This is the objective. What is the KPI? Defect rate. Okay. The objective is expansion of the eco-friendly product. What is the measure or the KPI? Number of eco-friendly product produced or developed during the year. Agreed? So you need to map, you need to link the critical success factor with the KPIs. Agreed? Now moving further. Okay, you write down my objective is the profitability. Then you write down your KPI, key performance indicator, is ROI. And then you write the target ROI is 18%. Obviously, you need to mention the various initiatives which you will take in order to attain the ROI rate of 18%. Initiative 1, Initiative 2, Initiative 3, Initiative 4. N number of initiatives can be taken to achieve each of the critical success factor, to achieve each of the objective of the goal. Agreed? Then you need to write actual performance. What does it mean? Rajay, it means this much of the work you need to do prior to the start of the period for which you need to apply the balance scorecard. This much of the work. The moment that period ends for which you are preparing the balance scorecard, you must write the actual performance. In actual, you earn only 16% of the ROI. Then you need to write the comment. Why 16%? You write, sir, this is a COVID year. We could not work at our full capacity. Hence, due to this, we will earn only 16%. We could not earn 18%. Agreed? You also need to give the score to you. You could not match the target. You only reach to the 16% against the target of the 80%. Hence, you must give you score. You can't give you 100% here. Obviously, you will have to give you something less than 100%. Now, how much score need to be given? What is the methodology of the scoring? That is also company specific. The organization can develop its own methodology. Friends, if you allow me, I can take you to one more advanced version of this balance scorecard. Okay, that how this can be further betterly present and used. But prior to that, let's conclude the discussion which we've done on this particular page. What are the discussion we have done up till now? Please see. Friend, from this portion up till this portion, it will be called scorecard. This is your scorecard, na, basically. What is the target assigned to you and how actually you perform and what is the score you get. So this is your scorecard. And these perspectives are assigned with the weight is known as the or need to be considered whether the weight are given or allocated are balanced or the not, whether these perspectives are balanced or the not. And to gather these two is known as the balance scorecard. How to gather these two need to be studied. Okay, let's take an example. In the financial perspective, you get the score 100. We are taking only hypothetical figure in order to understand. In the customer perspective, you get the score of, let's say, 80. In the internal processes, you get the score of 100. In the learning, you get the score of 80. Now, you need to calculate weighted score. What is the weighted score? The 25% into 100. It will become 25. Then the 25% into 80. This will become how much? The 20. Then the 25% into 100 again. This will become 25. And then the 25%, which is a weight of last 80, which is this one. This will be 20. Hence, your overall balance scorecard, your total score is 90. Now, this 90 can be set as your balance scorecard score. Okay? Because you are applying the balance, you are applying the weight to the score of each perspective. I hope now you're able to get the balance scorecard. Let me take you to the advanced version. It will not take more than a minute. How you assign the score. I'm telling you that what generally we do in the industry, although from company to company, these practices may be different. Okay, friends, you need to see whether you are meeting your target or not. The first possibility is what? You are well above the target. Your target is 16% ROI and you get the 22%, 23% ROI. Then you will give you 100%. And what color you will use to represent the KPI? Blue color. It means जिस KPI में आपने टारगेट से ऊपर एक्चुअल परफॉर्मेंस करके दिखाई है, आपका स्कोर 100% है. What you need to do? Then color that KPI in the blue color. Although this color can be used in any order, in any manner, but this is the general practice which we do. So I'm explaining you the same. Okay. But if you just met the target, like ROI is 16 and you attain only 16 or 16.2, 16.4, then the score will be 80. If you not met the target, but you missed the target by very less margin, the margin is not high, then you can give the score to you 50 and the color will be yellow. And if you miss the target by the huge margin, then you will not score anything and the color will be red. Now your KPIs, key performance indicators, has the color. either the blue or the green or the yellow or the red. Red means worry. Yellow, you need to worry, but you need not to panic. Green, don't panic, but you need to focus. Blue, you can ignore it. You are doing well done. You are doing fantastic. If you have colored KPIs along with you, this will act as a dashboard for you. Obviously, you has a KPI 1 and you see it in the blue color. You has a KPI 2, you see it in the green color. You has a KPI 3, you see it in the yellow color. KPI 4, see it in the yellow color again. KPI 5, see it in the red color. So you know that this thing is a dangerous thing. Only from a one dashboard or a screen, you able to capture the entire information of the company, that in which indicator you are doing well and which of the indicator you are not doing well. That's why I said earlier that indicator only indicates, it don't quantify. For quantify, you actually need to measure. Okay, so now I believe, friends, you are in the position to solve the question along with me. We'll solve the question, and then I take you to these master notes for which the space is given in the classroom notes. Let me take you through the classroom notes first. I hope now this is clear to you. Here, what you need to write? Here, you need to write the target. Okay. Here, you need to write what? Initiative, which the organization is taking. Here, you need to write actual result. Here, you need to write your comment and the scope. Okay, friends. Now, coming back. Here you can see the blank space. What we need to write? We need to write some master notes on this. No doubt I'll discuss the master notes with you. And these are the perspective explained. And this is the picture explained. Now you're able to understand the picture. What is written? In the financial perspective, it is written how we appear to our shareholder. The objective, measure, then target, then initiative. And in all three initiatives, it is written the same. Now read these two paragraphs along with me, then we'll move to the question. What is written in the paragraph? Balance scorecard is a management system rather than just a measurement system. Why it is not a measuring only? Why it is managing too? Because you are also applying the initiative to improve your performance. And obviously, if you find that your actual performance is not at par to the target, you are also giving the reason. It means half of the problem is solved. You know the reason that why you're not able to get the target performance. It becomes easy for you. It becomes recommendatory, automatic recommendatory for you that you'll improve your performance in the next period. Okay. Apart from that, in order to give the information to the business manager, obviously it will give n number of information that what are the initiatives you are taking, how you are performing, what is your score in that initiative, what are the new initiatives you need to take, why you fail in the existing initiatives. So this thing is written. Now this paragraph is very important. Whenever you find any question, you must start with this particular paragraph. Even though there is a question of the RB signal, in that particular question, the institute started with this particular paragraph itself, that what is the balance scorecard and how it works. Read this paragraph very carefully along with me. The balance scorecard is a tool which displays the performance of an organization in the 4 different dimensions. You know 4 different dimensions. What are those? Financial, customer, internal process, learning and growth, which acknowledge the interest of the shareholder, customer and employee in view of both the long-term and the short-term goal linked with the strategy and vision. Yahi to baat humne boli, that you need to break down your strategy into the goals. Those goals will be for each perspective. The goals for the financial perspective are the short term. Likewise, you earn this much of the profitability in the upcoming year, short term. But customer satisfaction, innovation, these are kind of long-term objectives. So, balance scorecard measure the performance in the 4 perspective. In order to ensure you must attain your vision and the strategy. Now I feel अब मेरे किसी भी दोस्त को definition याद नहीं करनी पड़ेगी. You know what is you need to write. What you need to write? The balance scorecard is a performance management tool rather than measurement tool. It displays the performance of organization in the 4 different perspectives while attempting or effort to attain the vision and the strategy. Okay. Friends, I don't believe that I need to explain these initiative to you, these perspectives to you. So you must take it as a homework and read it at your own. This is self-explanatory, and we discuss many things about this. Okay. Now, this particular master notes. Please write this master note. Afterward, that we'll take a break, and after coming from the break, we'll solve the 4-5 questions on the balance scorecard. Okay. Consider the first note. I'm reading it for you. Okay. You need not to write it. You simply take a screenshot of it. Okay. As I'll share it with the IT team, they will host it in the download section as well. So read the first thing. The steps to implement the balance scorecard. Make the strategy and define the objective. Yahi kara tha, that you need to make the strategy and then define the objectives for each perspective. Choose the measure and link them to the goals. You need to assign the KPI to each of the objective. Then define and refine. What does it mean, define and refine? Periodical review your scorecard. Identify the reason why you failed to meet the target. Then improve your initiative in order to meet the target in the upcoming period. And keep on revising the target as well. Okay. Then last point, managing the people and resistance to change. Obviously, when you apply the balance scorecard, you are taking some initiative to improve your internal process. It will result in change of the role and responsibility of the people. And people always show the resistance to the change. Hence, what you need to do? You need to link the reward with the new processes. This thing is mentioned in the point number 4. You can see here. It is mentioned in the point number 4. The balance scorecard deals with the prospect like internal processes, learning and innovation, which is highly people oriented because the process need to be performed by the people. The learning is need to be done through or by the person himself. Hence, change in the human behavior may be solved in order to implement the balance scorecard. So what you need to do? You need to add or link the reward with the balance scorecard. Okay. Now further, since every company, I'm reading the third point, friends, since every company is different and it shall need to work out the various financial and non-financial perspective it wish to take, the objective, the measures, the target and initiative. It means for every company, the balance scorecard will be different. Now the second point, the responsibility to devise and implement the balance scorecard will be of top level managers. They should not delegate it to the lower level manager because they don't have this much of the authority that they can implement it. The last point, since the balance scorecard can be used for the purpose of internal and external reporting. If you see your study material now, then for one airway company, the balance scorecard is given to you as business insight. So that company reported their balance sheet in their annual report. But it is very critical to report the balance scorecard in your annual report. Why it is critical to report balance scorecard in the annual report? Because in the in the balance scorecard, you tell the various initiative which you are taking. So your initiative, your strategy may be copied by your competitor. Hence, what is need to be done? Hence, it is again the manager responsibility to decide what information needed to be disclosed and how any problem of confidentiality and how to overcome that particular problem. So friend, you need to copy these 5 major points. The space is given here, but instead of writing and spending your time, what you can do, you can take a screenshot. Okay, I'll give you a minute. Take a screenshot quickly of these 5 points. These are very, very, very important. It may possibly that 1 or 2 point may be tested. Likewise, it's given that a company is implementing the balance scorecard, but concerned with the confidentiality, advise the CEO what is need to be done in a 2 or a 3 or a 5 marks question. Okay, or how the balance scorecard can be implemented. The step may be asked to you. I hope you took the screenshot. Done? Good, friends. Now we can move to the question. Don't worry, we'll take a break. I'll not do the question. I'll just read the question for you. Rather than reading the question, I'll show the question on the screen. Although these are the small questions that we do later. We'll start with the big one question. Okay. So just read the requirement along with me. Don't read the question. We'll take a break, and then after coming back from the break, we'll solve this particular question. What is mentioned? Prepare the balance scorecard report using the above mentioned format. The format is given to you for the B steel. What is given? The 4 prospective, then the objective against those prospective, then the KPI against those objective. Then further, what is the target? They use the word goal here. Instead of that, they must use the word target, but somehow examiner ने लिख दिया है, so we also agree to this. Then the actual performance, whether the goal is achieved or not. You even need not to give the comment. You only need to tell whether it's achieved or not. Further, place the objective under the appropriate perspective. So here, some of the objectives given to you, like improve the post-sale services. What sort of services you give to your customer, how you perform the process of customer relation. So it deals with the internal process likewise. Further, increase the gross margin. It deals with your financial perspective. So you need to allocate these 8 items to the 4 perspective. Okay. What further you need to do? Select the KPI then from the list of KPI that would be appropriate to each measure progress towards each of the objective. तो हर एक objective की progress को measure करने के लिए which KPI you will use, that you need to identify, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 KPI are given to you. 8 objectives are given to you. You just need to identify that which KPI will match to which one. Likewise, this gross margin growth percentage obviously will be attached to the increase in the gross margin. Okay, friends. So now, friends, we'll take a break. After coming back from the break, we will solve these questions. Okay, we already solved these 2 questions, Lal and the Kristan. After coming back from the break, at least we will solve these 5 questions, and then we'll try to take a insight on the performance pyramid. If we're not able to do, we'll not do it in a hurry. We'll do it in the next lecture. But we try, we make an effort that we must able to do it as well. Okay. So friends, now I'm giving you the break of the 5 minutes. It's 7:55 right now. We will meet back at exact 8. Okay. Take a break, friends, in the meeting. Okay. Friends, welcome back. Please come quickly so that we can start the class. Okay. I hope that all of you are full of energy now again. No doubt, in a 5-minute book, you could not stretch your body this much that you can regain the entire energy which you lose in the day's work. But I surely believe that you'll gain this much of the energy that you can move further for one another hour along with me. And in this hour, we'll have to solve the cases. We'll read cases and we'll try to answer the cases based upon the knowledge which we acquired in the previous 1 hour or 1 hour 20 minutes on the balance scorecard. Okay, friends. Now read along with me. The question which is given on the page number 8.60 of your revised study material, and it is also tested in the RTP of the November 19 question 10. I'm very hopeful for the balance scorecard, and let's do this question, practice this question. B Steels is the leading manufacturer of the flat and the long B Steel is the leading manufacturer of the flat and long products, have state-of-art plant. The name suggests it's a steel company, so it might be preparing rolling patta or the long steel sheets or the some sort of the ingots, etc. What it says, these plants manufacture value-added product covering entire steel value chain, right from coal mining to the manufacturing pig iron, billets, HR coil, black pipes, GI pipes. GI pipes mean the pipe which is used for the conveying of the water, then the cable tapes, etc. Conforming to the international standards, ISI marked. The rock solid foundation combined with non-stop upgradation of and innovation has enabled B Steel to surpass its goal constantly. So 3 strengths are written here. What are the 3 strengths? Rock strong or rock solid foundation, the strong history background. Further, non-stop upgradation, and third one, innovation, help it to attain its goals. Further, its vision and value for sustainable growth is balancing the economic prosperity and social equality while caring for the planet. Friends, when this question asked in the RTP, apart from the balance scorecard, the TBL also asked as part B of the question, and some of the information in the question is related to the TBL rather than the balance scorecard. Likewise, this particular line, that this company is not only concerned with the profitability but also concerned with the people and the planet. Don't worry, in the next lecture we must in position to reach to the TBL, then we'll see that how to utilize such a data. Okay, it is preparing its balance scorecard for the period 2019-2020. It has identified the following specific objective for the 4 prospective. Now, what are the objectives? Please see along with me. The first objective which is mentioned there is improved post-sale services. Please mind it very carefully. No doubt, post-sale services need to be rendered to customer. But in the balance scorecard, the customer perspective is limited to how customer see our product or our services which we are rendering. Okay, so any process which we perform, like producing the product, like procuring the order, like delivering the order, like after sales services, they will not be considered as a part of customer perspective. Instead, they will consider as a part of internal processes. Okay, internal business processes. No doubt, the allocation of objective to different perspective is highly subjective. One may consider it a internal process, another person may consider it as innovation. So it depends upon the management accountant. There is no hard and fast rule. But I tell you a thumb rule that the processes through which we render the services to the customer, we try to satisfy the customer, shall be part of internal processes. How customers see those services or the product, or how he value the product, that must be under the customer perspective. Okay. Now, the first item, improve post-sale services, after-sale services. So this will fall under the internal business process. What we do, we'll side by side make a note for this particular question. So write down perspective here. Write down the objective here. Write down the KPI, key performance indicator, or measures here. Then write down the target. Then write down the actual. And write down whether you able to receive or not. Yes or no. This is a famous dialogue currently running in the Indian scenario. I don't want to relate it with some else issue. Okay, please focus on the question. So we were at here. Yes. So friends, improve post-sale services. This will fall under what? Internal business process. Yes. Write down firstly the name of all the processes. The first one is the financial process. The second one is the customer perspective. Then the third one is the internal business perspective. The fourth one is the innovation in the form of technology, and the learning in the form of training to the staff. Please mind it. Learning is something more than training. Learning has a wider meaning than only the training. Okay. So the first thing which is given to you, that is improve post-sale services. Okay. Now moving back. Second thing, increase the gross margin. Obviously, it will fall under which category? It will fall under the financial category. Write down it in the financial category. What you will write? Increase gross margin. Read the next objective. Next objective is what? Increase plant safety. It means you want to make your internal processes in such a manner that no accident took place. Z back, zero breakdown, zero wastage, zero defect. Means total quality management you wish to rely upon. It means you wish to change your processes. Again, internal business. So you need to write down increase plant safety. Friends, I request you that you must also write in the query box that under which the objective is fall. Which perspective the investor's objective is fall. The fourth one, improve the employee morale. Obviously, the employee morale will depend upon how much satisfaction he is having, how much learning he is having. So it will fall under the Fourth perspective, innovation and learning. So I'm writing here, improve employee morale. Okay. Moving further, next one, increase in the number of customer, very clearly visible. It will fall obviously under the customer. Increase number of customer. Fine. Moving further. Sorry. Moving further. Next one. Increase customer retention. Again, it will fall under the customer perspective. Increase customer retention. Okay. The next objective, improve employees' job satisfaction. How the employees' job satisfaction will improve? Good. Good, friends. Learning. Improve or increase employee job satisfaction. Now only one left, that is increase profitability of the core product line. Its profitability obviously fall under the financial perspective. So increase profitability of core products or the main products or product line. Agreed? Now we need to match the KPI to the objective. Let's see the KPI. The first KPI, average replacement time. Replacement of what? Obviously of some part, of some material which the customer don't like. So you sell the product to the customer don't like the product, they ask you to replace it. So you are replacing it. It means replacement can be seen in a nexus to the post-sale services or after-sale services. Means whenever someone asks you that you need to replace the product develops some defect in it, how much time you take to replace it? Okay. Then second, the gross margin growth percentage. Obviously, it is linked to the increased gross margin. Let's quickly write in another format where we are preparing this thing. So for this, the KPI is growth margin percentage, which is nothing but the second indicator. 15% and 16% is a respective data. So it is 15% and 16%. Okay. Then further, we measure the average replacement time against the improved post-sale services. So we'll write it also. Improve post-sale services ke against me, we need to mention average replacement time. Average replacement time, and the target of average replacement time is 2 days and the actual data is 1.5 days. Okay. Moving further, number of customer. Obviously, number of customer can be related to this objective, increase in number of customer. The target is 15,000 and actual is 15,600. So write it here. Number of customer, the target was 15,000 and actual data is 15,600. Okay. Now the next KPI, number of plant accident. The safety can be linked with the number of accident. The goal is 2, but in actual, the 2 accident took place. Okay. So number of accident against the plant safety. Friends, I strongly believe, good. Raman is answering, the Chavi is answering, good. Friend, I strongly believe that now you find it quite easy. There is no big challenge. Only you need to understand the concept and then you can easily correlate the data. Further, the percentage of repeat customer. The percentage of repeat customer means you able to retain the customer. Hence, percentage of repeat customer can be attached to two objectives. Number one, the customer satisfaction or customer retention. Here, the customer satisfaction is not given. Here, only customer retention is given. So, you need to attach this KPI with this objective. So, percentage of repeat customer targeted at 83%, but in actual only 81 repeats to you. So, percentage of repeat customer. You target for 83%, but in actual only 81% customer coming back to you who earlier purchased from you. Next one, the core product profit line. Obviously, this is very much linked to the last objective. Target was 5.5, but in actual it was 4.4 only. So, percentage profit, this is given to you. Target was 5, but actual was 4.4%. Okay. Now the next one, employee turnover rate. The morale of the employee based upon the attrition rate. If the attrition rate in any company is high, obviously the morale is low because that person feels that I can be fired off at any time. But if the attrition rate is low, yes, good Chavi. But if the attrition rate is low, then obviously what the person will feel, no, my job is secured. If he is having the sense of job security, his morale will be high. So, employees' morale can be linked with the employee turnover rate. The target was 2%, but in actual, the attrition rate is 3%. So, this is nothing but the turnover rate. In the intermediate, in the costing paper, you all calculate the turnover, flux ratio, separation ratio, and the replacement ratio. This is nothing but the same ratio. What was the target? The target was a 2%, but here in actual, you witness that the 3% of your total employee base leave the company in the particular period for which you are preparing the balance scorecard. Employee satisfaction rating from 1 to 5. Obviously, it will link with the employee's job satisfaction. At the time of appraisal, usually such a kind of ratings are prepared. What is the target? The target is that everyone must get the 1 point in this 1 to 5 rating. Okay. And 1 considered as a most satisfied. You must read this line very carefully. The 1 considered as most satisfied. It means 5 considered as less or least satisfied. So increase in number is bad, not good. Okay. So your target is 1, but in actual the satisfaction is 1.2. So write down satisfaction index and write down the percentage here 1 and 1.2. But in the bracket I'll mention higher is not good or bad. Okay. Now, friend, all my friends who are online, I request you to tell me whether in the financial perspective, the first objective, whether we able to meet it or not. Target was 15%, actual is 16%. Whether we attain the objective of increase in gross margin or not. The answer is yes, we attain it. Okay. Further, the profitability from the core product shall be 5%, but in actual it is only 4.4. Whether we able to attain the target or not? Answer is no. Further, the number of customer. The target is 15,000, but in actual we add the new customer base of 15,600? Obviously, answer will be yes. We attain the objective. Further, the target to get the repeat customer 83%, but in actual only 81% customer come back to us. Hence, we fail to achieve the target. Further, the average replacement time shall be 2 days, but in actual we replace the product in 1.5. So customer will be very happy. We obtain the objective. Further, the plant safety, there shall be no accident, but in actual there the 2 accidents took place. Hence, no again. Further, improved employee morale, for which the turnover rate is the KPI. We believe that only 2% of the people leave the company, but in actual 3% employee leave the company. So this is bad thing. It means we're not able to meet the objective. Further, we wish that the satisfaction shall be 1 and higher is a good, but satisfaction is 1.2. It means less than what is expected. And again, no is the answer. So friends, this is the balanced scorecard, which you are supposed to prepare. Okay. Balanced scorecard, which you are supposed to prepare. Even though this is not the full-fledged balanced scorecard. Why not full-fledged balanced scorecard? Because we don't write the various initiatives which we are taking. And it might be not written because this balanced scorecard may be used for external reporting in the annual report rather than the internal purposes. When we use the balanced scorecard as an internal tool, we write the various initiatives and we also write the reason why we fail if we're not able to attain any target. But it may be possible that we are preparing only for reporting in the annual report. Hence, we didn't write the initiative and we didn't write the reason that why we fail. Okay, friends. So I hope this question is done. Now we are moving to the next question, which we are going to solve. So we're done with the requirement. We already studied the requirement prior to go to the break. So that's why we didn't study it again while solving the question. Now let me take you to the another question. Then we'll come back to the examination question. This is the examination question. Okay. I'll firstly take you to the case study, because the question which is already asked in the examination cannot be tested again simply. And there is a high probability of the another case to be tested in examination. So we'll solve those where there is a high probability. So read along with me. This is given on the page number 8.2 of the revised study material and in the RTP of May 20 as question number 4. Prior to read the case, we will try to read the requirement. It will always give us an edge in order to record those items which is important in order to answer. So ये आप अपनी practice बना लीजिए. Whenever you need to solve the case-based question, you read the requirement first. So while reading the case, you will underline the fact which is important for you. Okay. You are required to examine the performance of RB Signal in year 2020. Obviously, the question is of the balanced scorecard. So it might possible that the balanced scorecard is given to you or you need to prepare and then you need to examine the performance. In the last question, we were asked to prepare the balanced scorecard. But here, what we are supposed to do? We're supposed to evaluate the performance. Okay. So now read the question along with me. This is the toughest question available in the study material. Nothing is toughest than this, but you will find it very easy. So the remaining question is although become automatically easy for you. Okay. In 2009, the Luxo has a monopoly in the eyewear market of America. But the problem with the company was that it was selling the variety of eyewear. It means it's dealing in the N number of products. Due to the large number of products, it can't ensure the value of each product to the customer, or the customer will doubted which product it need to buy, because various variety or the version of the glasses will be available. Further, by putting a big price on it, it means it's charging the premium prices in the market. It's a premium product, premium brand. At present, there is almost nothing that you can't buy online. Means in the year 2020, when this question was tested, you can buy everything electronically. But at that time, at what time? In year 2009, when the Luxo start selling in the market of America or had a monopoly in the market of America, okay, there were limited things that you could order online. तो क्या कहता है यहाँ पे? In the year 2020, you can buy everything online, but in the year 2009, जिसका फैक्ट क्वेश्चन की ओपनिंग लाइन में आपको दिया है, there are not many things which you can buy online. There are only limited things. So at then, when the e-commerce was not very prevalent, when in the year 2009, when e-commerce was not very prevalent, RB Signer Inc. launched a website to sell the eyeglasses online. First mover advantage. Because RB Signer starts selling the eyeglasses online when no one used to sell eyeglasses online, or very less player or very less thing available online, then obviously the RB Signer may be having the first mover advantage. Further, we'll say it AS for the short. Further on, selling eyewear online and competing with the Luxo was challenging for the RB. Within the just 4 years, the RB breaks the monopoly of the Luxo and captures the major market of the America. The people find it really convenient to buy the sunglasses and the glasses online and get the delivery at the doorstep. Obviously, if you are selling through electronic platform, it becomes convenient for the person. He just need to make the online payment or the cash on a delivery, and he'll get the product delivered at his doorstep. Following the footstep of the Luxo, the RB eliminate the middleman from the manufacturing process and launch its own optical lab to have its own manufacturing process. It means now it has a complete control over the supply chain or the value chain, because it's producing or assembling the sunglasses or the glasses itself and selling it. And another company against whom it is competing, Luxo, was also doing the same. The range of the product offered by the RB, which make different from the Luxo, include easy buying process. Now you need to focus here. What make RB better than Luxo? What are the sources of competitive advantage? What are the critical success factor? Easy buying process. It means it's a customer friendly. Customer can easily place the order. Number 2, delivery at the doorstep. Obviously, you need to go to the showroom of the Luxo or some retailer who sells the Luxo product. But in order to buy the sunglasses from the RB, you can buy it online, like the lens cart. Further, stylish glasses, customize eyewear glasses. It means they took an order and prepare it as per the choice of the customer. Product was sold on the site at very affordable prices with starting range of just $95. It means their product is cheap as well. This is the most favoring advantage to them. Further, the mission and the vision and the objective is given. What is the mission? Improving the people's lives with our healthcare product in the socially cognizant way. It means with the harmony to the society, they want to improve the people's life. The company has a vision which gives the importance to the society as well. Further, to be a trusted healthcare partner, the objective to offer the people designer eyewear at a revolutionary price. It means they are purely customer focused here. Their mission is socially oriented. They are considering the you can say society important element, because they mention specifically here the socially cognizant way. So they give the importance to the society. In the objective, they become the customer oriented, because what they say, offer the people designer eyewear. It means The product feature, designer. Second feature, revolutionary price. It means double value. Spend the less cost, get the better product. Double value. The value of product itself is enhanced, the cost is reduced. And so double gain for the customer. Okay. Further, as the mission-based brand, the RBI needed a way to instill their team of employees with the passion for the mission. It means they don't hire a normal person who is expert of the domain. They identify a person who has a zeal, who has some ambition to perform, and that ambition must be in alignment to the mission of the RBI. It means they identify the person who also possesses the value which the company is possessing. So obviously the learning of the employee become easy because he is also of the same mentality of the company. Further, the RBI let the employee know what they value, employee satisfaction, what the employee should value. Wow. Further, who they are. This is important, setting up what they do and why they do. It means they give the purpose to the employee. Likewise, they are telling if the employee is preparing some particular order or preparing the sunglasses for some particular person, they, you can say that let the employee aware of the need of the customer, so that employee feels that satisfaction that he meet the need of the customer, he fulfill the particular need of the customer. It give him the joy that he's attained something, which is very important. Job satisfaction is quite important as a core foundation of their brand story. This help to create the culture in the organization. Okay. Further, the RBI, I can give you example. If some organization give the less money and ask the employee to do the more work, employee may not be feel motivated. If some organization give you good package but not give you the work which you feel better to perform or like to perform, then also you'll feel demotivated after some time. You'll start seeing the work as a monotonous one. The only best thing is what if the company give you the financial benefit. Apart from that, the motivation or the, you can say that put you in a position where you feel yes, you are doing what you actually want to. You are actually serving some purpose, be it the value of organization, be it the objective of organization, or be it your customer. So it gives you a feel of the satisfaction. That's quite important. Then you yourself wish that you must do something for company, something revolutionary for the company. You put an effort, though out of the office hour. Further, the RBI also contribute in the charitable work. It means they are also involved in the charitable philanthropy. It inspires the people with its mission. How it inspires the people with its mission? For every pair of the glass the customer pay, the RBI donate a pair of glass to the needy person. It means you buy the glass and tells about some person, to that person the RBI will deliver the free glass, or RBI itself identify some old age home nearby to its operation and deliver one glass there to some old man or some old woman or a lady. So they are also considering the society as part of their stakeholder majorly. And this also gives the, you can say, a sense of satisfaction to the customer. When customer buy for himself and someone also getting as the share of his purchase, then the customer also feels satisfied. No doubt there may be some customer who is full to cost effective, who will feel that no, if I spend this much money, then the entire utility must be given back to me. But then it's up to RBI. RBI must, you can say that, let the customer feel that you are getting the value for money, you are getting the designer eyewear and the revolutionary price, but spite of you paying less for the product, out of our pocket we are doing as our responsibility. Okay. Further, in the December 2020, the RBI reported the donation of 9,60,000 pair of eyeglasses. Further, the company also claimed to be 90% carbon neutral. It means company is also very much focused about its environment footprint. They don't want to pollute the environment. Okay. So now the extract from the balance scorecard is given to you. If the extract is given to us, then what is the utility of this much of the communication which he does with us through the question? So in the abstract, you can see, or in the extracts from the balance scorecard, you can see under the financial objective, the first element is the return on capital employed, and the actual for the 2020 is 13%, but whereas the target was 14%, obviously you missed the target. So this data is given to you for the year 2020. Further, net income. Net income is 95 million against the target of 89. So obviously you attain it. So these are given to you for each of the perspective, the various objective, the actual performance and the target performance. And what was asked to us? You are required to examine the performance. Okay, we just need to tell whether we able to attain or not. But one more information is given to you. What is that? The RB Signer has recently invested heavily in the IT security to prevent the fraud. It means recently company invest huge capital in the IT system so that it can prevent itself or its customer against the fraud, because it's an electronic e-platform company selling the product over the platform. So it may possible that some of the customers' account get hacked and there may be some problem. So in order to have encrypted platform where there is a less probability of any IT related fraud, it spent some money on the IT security. Friend, there is one problem with this question. What is the problem? I'll tell you. Here it is mentioned in the December 2020, the RB reported donation of 9,60,000 pair of eyeglasses. But here it is mentioned that for the 2020, the number of the glasses donated is 9,60,000. So examiner made a silly mistake here that he must write that in the 2020 rather than the word December 2020. But don't worry, we'll answer our question based upon the best fact given in the question. Okay. Now we'll try to answer this question. So this much data is given to you in the question. You need to first tell whether you able to meet the target or not. Then you need to analyze it as well. If you see the answer to this particular question given in the RTP or given in the study material, how it is written? They wrote it in a paragraph form. They write it, okay, financial, we attain one thing, we don't attain one thing. Okay, paragraph next, customer, we attain this thing, we don't attain this thing, we attain this thing, we don't attain this thing. So that is not very good way of presenting the answer. No doubt you can do, but that is not a very good way. You must analyze one by one and write it here that whether you attain it or not. If yes or no, then what could be probable reason based upon the point which you studied. Okay, in the answer which is given by the ICAI in its RTP, obviously the discussion is less, although more discussion can be possible in the answer. And one more thing, whenever you get a question where you need to analyze, you firstly need to introduce the balance scorecard. So what first thing you will do in this question, the RB Signer, firstly you will introduce the balance scorecard. You will introduce the 4 perspective of the balance scorecard. Then secondly, you will tell about the RB Signer, because what we said that the various objective or the measure which we write in the balance scorecard are based upon the company's strategy, based upon the company's vision. So you must explain the vision of the company, na? So write few lines about the RB Signer, then prepare this particular table. Okay. Now quickly go through this table along with me. Friends, what is the actual ROCE? 13%. What is the target ROCE? 14%. So whether you achieve it or not, answer is no. Further, what is the net income? Net income is 95 million. What should it be? It should be 89. Despite the fact that your net income increased from 89 million to 95 million, your ROC declines or not as per the target. If your net income is more than the targeted net income, then your ROCE shall also be more than the targeted ROCE. What is the possible reason? The possible reason is you recently invested the huge money in the IT systems to ensure that there shall be no fraud. Obviously, if you buy some new IT system, what will be happen? This cause increase in the capital, although your return remain the same. Hence, your ROI may less than what is targeted, despite the fact your net income is more than what is targeted. I hope you get this particular point. Okay, moving further. What is your targeted first time buyer? 1 lakh. How much actually buy from you? 1,20,000. So you will be very happy. Yes, the RBI is doing good in comparison to the Luxo. It's keep on getting the new customer and increasing its market share. Okay, it's keep on increasing its market share. Further, the target for the customer retention is 75%, but in actual 78% customer come back to you. So very good. It is a good sign of what? Customer satisfaction. So the customers are served with the value what they actually desired or willing or expected. Okay. Further, number of the complaints per 1,000 customer. The target was 2. In actual, you only get 1.5 complaint per 1,000. Means 3 complaint per 2,000 customer. So you meet the target. What you can say? It means the services which you are provide, they are the value services. The product which you are provide, that product is defect free. If the product is defect free, only then you will not get the complaint. No, otherwise you will get complaint that the sunglass which you deliver is not of good quality. It is not of the same lenses which we order. It is not of the same design. Okay. Now further, the target to deliver the sunglasses to the needy person was 9 lakh, but in actual, in the charity, we deliver the 9,60,000. Again, yes. So what is the analysis of this? The social responsibility is also fulfilled. It means it's keep on heading towards its vision, because vision contain word that it wish to support the society. Okay. Further, the internal business processes. The first thing, number of the business processes re-engineer. It wish to improve its 110 business processes. Means benchmarking the 100 businesses, 100 processes ki karni thi, but in actual, it did the benchmarking of 110. It wished to do the process re-engineering of the 100, but it's able to do it for 110. So it's very good. It means it's moving or keep on adding the efficiency. Further, the number of new services made available online. It wished to add 4 services. Like you place an order, then it will give you the reminder, okay, you put something into your cart, but not ordered yet. Or services like the birthday wishes, because obviously when the person creates the account online, write the information about himself or herself. So there are some features which it wish to add in the online application. How many features they wish to add? 4, but they could only add 2. So here answer is no, which is not good. It means this company not able to introduce the new services which is wished to introduce. Okay. Further, incident of the fraud on the, although this thing can be come under the innovation, like the 4 innovation they wish to do, but they could not able to do the 2. So this thing earlier I said to you that balance scorecard is highly subjective issue. Highly subjective issue. One person may put something under the one head, another person may put same thing under the another perspective. Okay. Further, the incidences of the fraud on the customer account per 1,000 customer, target was 10, but in actual only 3 defects took place. Why 3 defects? Because in the year 2020 they invest huge amount of the IT system in order to prevent the fraud. So you can see here, no doubt, by investing huge amount on the IT system, their ROCE come down, but the customer fraud also come down. So customer may feel happy. So this is a big yes for the company. Further, CO2 emission, the environmental footprint. How much carbon they wish to emit? 1,100 tons they wish to emit of carbon, but in actual they only emit 850. Hence their carbon footprint is green or positive, which is very, very great thing. Okay. So further, number of employees trained to instruct the retailers. Although they think that they will train the 1,050 employees, but in actual only they can train the 1,000 employees. So hence there is a big no. Good. Hema, very good. Sir, the reason is IT system investment. Very good. Very good, Raj. Further, number of hours paid for used to support social plans. Obviously, if they consider society as their part, they need to deliver the glasses. Some person will go out and deliver the glasses instead of producing the glasses and selling the glasses. It means the person is getting the salary for doing the social services. So they think that they'll pay 10,000 hours to their employees for doing the social work rather than the work inside the factory or inside the business premises or inside the showroom. But in actual, they make the payment of such 10,200 hours. It means the worker paid for 200 more hours for do the social work. Hence, they did the, you can say that commendable amount of the social work, which is a good. Hence, they are again moving or heading towards the vision. Last thing, the number of the training position from the rural area, they are bringing upliftment of the rural area. They are bringing the rural and urban together. So they wish that 200 training they will train, but in actual they only train the 189. So there is a no. So they need to focus that how they can you can say that expand the business in the rural area by identifying the more people from the rural area as well as serving the society. So I strongly believe that this question is quite easy for you. You're able to answer this thing, that which of the measure we attain and which of the measure not, and what is the impact of attainment and the non-attainment. So the analysis part is also done. Now quickly moving back to the notes. Yes, we're done with this. Now we are going to solve one small question. Then afterward, we'll come back to the examination question. This examination question we need to solve. Okay. We will do first one small question. Then we'll come back to the examination question. Here is a small question for you. Think that if the larger question for the 10 or 20 marks not asked from the balance card scorecard, then obviously a 5 marks question may be there. Then this question is the best fit for the 5 marks question. Okay. So the Standard Telecom Limited is a leading cellular service provider having a global presence. It aims to be the most innovative and trusted telecom company in the world. So the vision of company is clearly mentioned. What is the vision or the aim? The vision is to be the most innovative and trusted. Innovative, then innovation and learning. Trusted means customer must value it. So two perspective, it highly focused upon the customer, then innovation and learning. Further, to achieve this aim, it constantly working on its overall functioning. It is trying to adapt the best management practices in the world. Following are the sum of the information related to the company's performance for a particular period. So the operating ratio given to you for the current year and the base year against which you are seeing your growth, and the target is also given to you. against which you are seeing your growth. So the average revenue per user is given, unresolved consumer complaint are given, customer relation center, the number of the centers is given to you. Then the employee coverage under the training program is also given to you. What you need to do now, analyze the performance of the company using the balance scorecard. So you know how the balance scorecard can be prepared. You need to first write down the perspective. Then against perspective, you need to write down the objective, or the objective is not given to you in the question. Then you need to write down the KPIs or the measures. The objective also set goals, or can be set goals, or can be set critical success factors. Okay. Further, then you need to write down here what? The base year. Then you need to write down what? The current year performance. Then you need to write down here what? The target. Then you need to analyze whether you're able to attain or not. If you're able to attain, very good. If you're not able to attain, what are the reasons for your failure? You need to assess it. Okay. So friends, the first perspective is the financial perspective. The second perspective is the customer. And the third perspective is obviously internal processes. Sorry, my handwriting is not too good on this pen tablet, but I hope still you're able to read it. So I'm profuse. You can say that I'll render my profuse apologies for you that you need to read such a bad handwriting, despite I'm not a doctor. Okay, my regards to the doctor. Okay, so last point, that is learning and innovation. Please don't feel offended if any of the relative is the doctor, but usually they don't write in a good handwriting, so that's why I just mentioned it. Okay, friends. So first thing, operating ratio. Operating ratio, you know, is what? Nothing but the relation of the operating expense and the revenue. Hence, it falls under the financial perspective. Objective is not written, but measure is written. What is the measure? Operating ratio. What is the base year data? 54%. It means if your sale is 100%, then the 54% is your operating expenditure. What is the current year data? 60. And what was the target for you? 50. So you wish to reduce your operating expenditure from 54 to 50. But in actual, what happened? It increased to 60. Hence, in analysis, you will write that your cost may increase, which will result in less profitability, or you may charge higher prices, which will lead to the customer dissatisfaction because he may not get the increased utility against the increased prices. So what company need to do? Company need to focus on the cost reduction or cost control technique through which it can reduce the cost. Okay. Now moving further, second element, average revenue per user. Friend, please believe me, you can't get more easier question than this. Even though the question gave you the KPI in the same, you can say that serial order of the perspectives. Okay, average revenue per user, again financial, average revenue. So what was the base year average revenue? 210. What was the target? The target is 250. But what is the actual or current data? 225. Hence, you need to write company fail to attain the target. What company need to do? Company either need to sell more unit to the same number of customers, or company need to identify either new customer or start charging high prices from those customer which are less price sensitive. Friends, in the previous chapter, you might already studied the customer profitability analysis. So you need to do the customer profit analysis, whether your customer are the price sensitive or not. If not, then start charging the high price. Obviously, your average revenue will increase. Or start identifying the new customer who can buy your product in the more quantity so that your average revenue will increase. If they buy in the small loads, your average revenue per user further will decrease. So you need to buy those customers who buy in the bulk. Then you must try to sell the more unit to your existing customer. Okay. Now further, unresolved customer complaint. Obviously, it will fall under the customer perspective. Unresolved customer complaint. So rather than writing here, I hope the aspect is quite clear to you why we are writing here. I'll do what the discussion from here. So what was the base year data? 25,000 customer complaint remain unresolved. What is your target? You wish to reduce it by 20%. It means you wish to reduce it 20% of 25,000. That is 5,000. So you wish to make it 20,000. But what happened? Totally against your expectation. It moves up to 27,500. Means instead of reduction by 20%, what happened? There is increase of 10%. So you need to write, it shows the dissatisfaction among the customer. Customer may move to some other player who is selling the same sort of services. Obviously, it's a telecom operator. The customer will, yes, it's a telecom operator, cellular operator. The customer will use the portability and move to the another telecommunicator or the tele operator or cellular operator. Okay. Further, the customer relationship center. You were having 200 center, you wish to make it 250 and you take it to the 280. So it's a very, very good, you can say that performance, acceptable performance. So it will enhance your reach, but you also need to see in order to manage more number of customer relationship center leads to high operating expenditure. So you are attaining this perspective. You are attaining the perspective of internal processes because it will fall under the internal processes. So you are attaining the processes. You are improving your processes, that how you render the service to your customer. But you are lead this perspective cause the failure of the financial perspective, which result in the increase in the operating ratio rather than the reduction. Because obviously, if you have a more center, the operating cost will be high. Okay, moving further, the employee coverage under the training program, it will fall under which perspective? Learning and innovation. Okay, so 8% employee in the previous year got the training. Your target is to train the 15% employee, but only 10% employee get trained. Hence, your labor force are not scaled as expected. And you wish to be what? You wish to be trusted telecom company. How you can become a trusted telecom company? How you can do the innovation if your employees are not learning the new techniques? Obviously, they need to learn the new techniques. Only then you can do the innovation. Only then they can introduce the Kaizen point. Hence, you need to write that the training must be given to the staff proper manner and the learning must be ensured so that the more innovation can be suggested by the employees. Okay, friends. Now moving to the next question. Quickly move to the next question. This is a question wherein some cooperative society was formed with the purpose of doing the banking operation, and later on this particular cooperative society got the banking license. I'm not solving the question, I'm just explaining the question to you so that you can do it as a homework. Then later on this cooperative society, which is a cooperative society bank, got a license to act as a full-fledged bank under the Banking Regulation Act 1949. When it got the license in the year 1986. So it has a traditional mindset and it's working only in the National Capital Territory of Delhi, NCT of Delhi. So it has a traditional counter service which working along with local market. It means its opening and closing time is exactly similar to the effective local time. It's not rendering the services 24/7. Now the board of directors are worried. Why they are worried? Because there is a growing popularity of the new style banks. So they may feel that the membership, which is quite a large now, may decrease because these customers may move to new style bank. Why they will move to new style bank? Because these new style bank offer diverse range of the services, such as direct access to the executive management, means people can go and directly meet the manager and explain their concern. A single point of the contact, means a single window system. Now every public bank or the private bank in India has this feature, the single window service or the single point contact. Further, coordinating all the banking needs at one place. Further, appointment banking to save the time. Then free online banking services 24/7. Then further, free unlimited ATM access. So these are the feature which the new banks are giving, but your bank, which is an old bank, is not an old bank, but you can say that it started its business in the older time, so it's still having a traditional mentality. Further, it has now been decided that the bank will focus on what customer want. What customer want means what? The customer perspective under the balance scorecard. Okay, and use the balance scorecard to achieve the goal. Produce one each of the three non-financial perspective of the balance scorecard, an objective, a performance measure that bank could use with the appropriate action. So now what you need to do? You simply need to write down the perspective. But apart from the financial perspective, means only three perspectives. What are those? The customer, then internal processes, then learning and the innovation. You need to suggest what? You need to suggest one objective. Like objective under the customer, maybe what? Cross-selling of the product. Don't sell them only the banking services. You must sell them the insurance or the brokerage services. So cross-selling of the product may be objective here. Then further, there is what? Internal processes. So what you will do in the internal, you can say that processes, you again focus on the multiple product. Although in the customer, you can put the customer satisfaction as well. In the learning and innovation, what you can do, you can write the increased number of the new product. So this can be added. Okay, don't worry, friends. Give me 5-10 minutes more so that we can wind up this question. Okay. So against these objectives, you also need to identify the measure. That with which measure, like if the customer satisfaction is written here under the perspective of the customer, you need to write the new customer added, number of new customer added, or you can write the account closure request which you get, because you are a traditional bank and some new banks are there. How much customer come to you with the request that please close our account. So this can be a measure whether your customer is satisfied from you or not. If the account closure requests are less, obviously your customer is satisfied. If the account closure request is more, they are not satisfied. So in this question, you need to apply your own brain. That in the case of bank, what are the possible objective and the measure? But you need to write the reason that why you pick this particular objective and the measure. Why? Basically, because you need to correlate it with the case. So I give you this particular question as a homework. So I believe that you will be in position to do it. There's nothing like that you're not able to solve the question. But still, if you find any difficulty, you can let me know. I'll help you out. Friend, this is the exam question. It will not take more than 5 minutes. Okay. Because half of this question we already solved. When we started this chapter in the Friday's class, in the Friday which just passed, there we learn about the ROI and RI. So we computed the ROI here and then see whether the new project's ROI is more than the divisional's current ROI or not. I still remember that the divisional ROI was 32%, and the project which we are supposed to perform, the ROI of that is quite a less. I don't remember the percentage now, but it was less. So divisional manager not willing to take the new project because he felt that his divisional profitability may go down. So this was the issue. But why we are studying this particular question? Because of this requirement. Based upon the above information and using the strategy map, the two objective and two measure for each perspective across the 4 dimension of the balance scorecard in the following format need to be written. So here the task is quite easy. You just need to write down the objective and the measure. Believe me, objective is clearly given to you in the question. Read the relevant component of the question along with me. Though the division 2 is performing well, but many a time the customer complained that they had to wait for the long after placing the order. Means what is the problem here? The problem here is related to the cycle time. The problem here is related to the cycle time. The delivery cycle time is high. You can see here. What is the delivery cycle time? 16 plus 2.8 plus 0.7 plus 4 plus 0.5. Hence the delivery cycle time is 24 days. Further, the company is interested in cutting the amount of the time between when a customer places the order and when customer order is completed. For the last year, the following data is reported. So data is given to you. Can anyone compute the MCE, manufacturing cycle efficiency? Please mind it. When the institute gives the answer for this particular question in the suggested answer, they consider the wait time also part of manufacturing cycle time. But friends, the wait time is the part of the delivery cycle time, but not part of the manufacturing cycle time. In the manufacturing cycle time, only 5 things will come. The process time, move time. Move time is basically a time which product will take from move one working station to another. Queue time, for which the product need to wait prior to be processed in the further process or prior to be delivered or prior to be processed. Then further, the inspection time, which is a time to ensure that product must not carry any sort of defect. And how you identify the efficiency? Out of this total 8 days, only 2.8 days is spent on processing, where you add the value. Hence, your MCE, manufacturing cycle efficiency or operating cycle efficiency, is only 35%. So what may be the another objective of the company? To increase manufacturing cycle efficiency, which will fall under the internal business processes. Because you want to improve your business process in such a manner, you wish to apply the TQM, total quality management, so that, yes, good, Chavi, long waiting time, good. Mega want to conclude it for today. Okay, Mega, just give me a minute. Please hold your nerves. Don't worry, I'll solve this question again in the next class. Aman also wish that we must close down. Okay, Aman, no issue. Okay, then we'll solve this particular question in the next class. Don't worry. Okay. So let me read this paragraph only. Okay. I'll keep your point. I'll solve this question in the next class because there are many concepts which I can explain with the help of this particular question. I don't know that how good you are in these times and the cycles. Although this is not relevant to chapter number 8, but still it's given in between. So I need to discuss. Just let me read this paragraph. In addition to the financial performance measure, the company wishes to introduce the variety of non-financial performance measures. So it means company is not only focused upon the financial performance indicator, company also wish to introduce non-financial performance indicator. What are the indicators? Company has set aggressive target both in the sale growth and ROI. So you need to identify two objectives under each perspective. So financial perspective के दो objective तो यहीं पे मिल गए. What are those two objectives, friends? The first one, sale growth, and the second one is ROI growth. Now reading further. The company strategy for achieving these goals include campaign aimed at building brand recognition, customer. Further, the customer retention, again customer. So two objectives for customer is also there, brand recognition and customer retention. How the brand recognition will be checked? How many number of people knowing about us? How the customer retention will be checked? It will be checked from the repeat number of the customer who are repeating us, who are coming back to us. Further, improvement in the product quality means production process. On-time delivery means delivery process. So these two will fall under the internal business process, and you need to write only two objectives, and you know the measure. What will be the measure for the delivery to customer? Number of delivery days. Okay. Further, expansion to eco-friendly product. This will be your innovation. That how you bring out new, innovative, eco-friendly product. Second, introduction of limited edition. Limited edition means what? That if you are making the watch, you will make only 100 units of watch. If you are producing the automobile vehicle, you only produce 10 cars of a particular model, so that people mad to buy that particular limited edition. Okay. So these will become the two feature for your innovation and learning. Now you need to do the question. You might remember, friends, when I started the class, I show you this particular table which is given in your study material. This table is nothing but the answer to the question which we are just reading. You can see improve ROI, improve sale, improve brand recognition, customer retention, improve product quality, then timely delivery, then obviously reduction in the non-value added activity. It means improving the manufacturing cycle efficiency, then expansion of the eco-friendly product and introduction of limited edition. So no doubt I did this question in a very speedy manner. So my promise to you, Megha and Aman and the Chavi, don't worry, I'll solve this question again. Despite of your request, I tried to complete the question. If you ask me, you're not able to understand it, despite even after seeing the video, I'll surely spend 5 or 10 minutes in the next class in order to solve this particular question. Okay. So I'll wait for another minute. If you have any query, quickly post it. Otherwise, we are going to sign out for the day. Okay. Yes, I can understand that today's class is a bit heavy because many a concept which we introduce new and try to improve our understanding and taking the in-depth knowledge about the balance scorecard. I believe that you'll able to cop up. Okay. Okay, friends. Bye. Good night to everyone. Take care of your health. We'll meet again on a Friday, and we'll try to do the performance pyramid in the Friday's class. Apart from that, the building block model and this TBL or the performance as much as we could cover in the Friday's class. We'll try to do. Okay. Bye everyone.